Hello, art students. I hope everyone is doing well and that you had a great weekend. This week, we're going to be talking about one of the elements of art. If you have not watched this video yet, I highly recommend that you do. I know that I've said watch me yes again and again and again, so I may have shown you this before. But if you haven't, take a look at her. Here is an excellent video that I also want you to watch. And this video is about the element of value, which is what you're going to be working with for the next 2 weeks. So, take a look at this video. If you haven't seen it yet, please do. All right, now it says there's no Google quiz. I used to do that. This is an old slide presentation. Don't worry about that. So these are the elements of art: line, shape, and form, space, value, color, and texture. And this week we are working on the element of value. Now, a couple of things that I want to show you guys, or that I want to introduce you to. So first of all, a value scale is how light or how dark something is on a scale of white to black. So if we have something that's white, and then it goes to a really light gray, then to maybe a medium gray, then a really dark gray, then black. That is a value scale. This is what you're going to be making this week. So hang on to that idea. Now, gradation is very similar to the value scale, except for instead of having lines in between that show you, the difference between white to light gray to medium gray to dark gray to black, what you have is there aren't any lines in between, and it's a really smooth transition. Gradation is an excellent way to learn how to shade well, especially if you're shading something that's round, like a sphere or a ball. How you do gradation and how you do value scales is by using the pressure of your pencil. Continuous physical force extended on or against an object. Okay, well, anyway, pressure is basically if you press really hard, you're going to get a dark value. If you press really lightly, you're going to get a light value. And that's going to be important for making your value scales and your gradation scales. And then transitioning is the process of changing from one state to another. So it's basically going from dark to light or light to dark. And you want to make sure that that transition is done really smoothly. Now, we're going to be doing 2 parts. This is just the first part. So once again, this is the value scale. And you can see here where it says 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And there's a very definite line between each one of these values. So this is the value scale. Over these colored ones here, these are value scales as well. So you can have value scales in black and white or in color. This lovely guy right here is a gradation scale, and you can see there are not those individual lines in between like there are in the value scale, and there's also no numbers on it. So it goes from white to black really smoothly all throughout the transition. You don't even notice that it's changing, and then all of a sudden it's really dark. Now, you're going to be completing 4 value scales in your sketchbook or on paper. If you have unlined paper, that's great. If all you have is lined notebook paper, that's fine too. So, first of all, this is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be making a 7-step value scale. Now, the best way to do this is you're going to use a straight edge, like a ruler, a book, a magazine, anything like that that can help you make a straight line. And you're going to make a big, long rectangle. And then what you're going to be doing is that you're going to roughly make these rectangles about the size of a Cheez-It. Everyone knows roughly the size of a Cheez-It. So that's how big I want these squares to be. So that's going to be 7 Cheez-Its long. Okay, that's how long your rectangle is going to be. You want to label them 1 through 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So label this 1 through 7. And then starting with the darkest value over here, number 7, you're going to press as hard as your pencil will let you. Really, really, really hard. And then over here on number 6, you're going to press just a little bit less. And number 5, just a little bit less. Number 4, a little bit less, until you get all the way down to 1. And square 1 can be totally white. Now, if you're having a hard time understanding what I'm saying, then here is a video that shows you exactly how to make this value scale. So you can click right here, and it's going to show you what you need to do. Now, you are also going to be making a gradation scale, and the gradation scale is going to be the exact same thing, except for, go back. There we go. Except for the fact that you're going to be using no lines at all. So no numbers, no lines, just from black to white. And here is a video as well. Now, I'm going to pause this and I'm going to do a part 2 because I'm almost out of time. So we'll see you in a minute.